Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Scorpio. We're going to do a Celtic crossbreed with the huge tarot deck, and what we see on the bottom of the deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. And once we get an idea of what the general message of this reading is going to be, we're going to pull 3 cards from the shadow deck to see what's going on in your subconscious and to see if there are any further clarifications we might need. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so today we are tuning in to the sign of Scorpio. So if that is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or however else today you choose to identify with the sign of Scorpio, you can use that as a way of interpreting the messages that are coming through. And as always, if the details of this message don't fit, that's okay. You can check your other placements, or you can stick around and see what's going on in the world of other Scorpios. So let's see what messages come through today. What things can we meditate upon? Are there things that we need to think about? Any warnings that we might need to see? Things perhaps we should try to avoid? Or are there things that we should try to move towards? Things that if we put our energy into might make our lives a little happier or a little more enjoyable? What messages can we receive today for those who are trying to tap in to the energy of the sign of Scorpio? All right. Let's get one more good shuffle and see what messages come through. All right. So in the present moment, we start with the Death card. So some sort of ending, but not necessarily a bad thing. This is a transformative card. This is transitioning from one stage to the next. So perhaps something in your life that you were once connected with is now either ending or moving into some new sort of form, I should say. Let's see what crosses it. We have a 6 of Swords. Again, emphasizing this idea of moving forward with something. An ending has occurred, and we should take the lessons of this ending and carry them forward with us into whatever it is that we are going to be pursuing next in our lives. A King of Swords. A 5 of Swords. The Chariot. The 7 of Pentacles. The 3 of Cups. The Tower. The 2 of Cups. And the Magician. Interesting. Yeah, this is definitely a message about moving forward and transitioning into something. So let's see what's going on here. So as I said, in the present moment, we have the Death card. So some aspect of your life, some either project or situation, maybe it's a connection, something is changing and ending. And as that change is occurring, there are lessons that have been learned from this. As I said, the 6 of Swords is moving forward with the mental energy that was gained from whatever this death was. I'm almost getting this idea of like a fuel that is burning, and the energy that is being released from the burning of that fuel is what the 6 of Swords is introducing. Now, what's on either side of this is a little painful. This is definitely some difficult energy. We have the King of Swords on the left, and this is really trying to collect your thoughts and try to make sense of a certain situation. I don't know what this situation is, but it definitely feels like one that is not easy to really wrap your head around comfortably. I'm getting a vibe of feeling sort of all over the place and a sort of whirlwind of clutter, and trying to pull that clutter into a focal point. And I think as that focal point is being reached, that's what's creating this death here. There's all these things that you're perhaps trying to make sense of, and they're not quite fitting together. You're not understanding why is this happening? Why is this happening? But the more you really focus on that, the more you realize that it's because something is transitioning. Something is moving from one stage to the next, and you can try to fight that and move, try to say, no, this is not what I want to occur. But with the Six of Swords, it's really saying that there's something that either needs to be let go of or accepted in this transitional period so that we can move forward. Because if that is not what happens, I see this as really being a bit of a warning with the Five of Swords. If this change is resisted, I have a feeling that it's going to almost reflect inward and start causing increased difficulty from what's already occurring here. So this feels really hard to grapple with, but I feel like if you don't just let this sort of naturally flow the way it needs to, trying to push this against the current, trying to not accept that Six of Swords, then those swords are going to come back at you, is what I'm feeling with that five. That card keeps popping up a lot here, and I really think there's a lot of people right now going through some really difficult transitional periods, and like I said, you can either go with the flow and accept that gracefully and learn the lessons from it, or you can try to resist that, and it's going to be a very difficult, painful process. So a lot of really difficult air energy right here. But I think there is a part of you that realizes that a forward movement does need to occur. But again, I feel a resistance to wanting to accept that. The reason I feel that you already understand this to some degree is because we have the Chariot here. I think like I said, there's different aspects, I think, of you that are sort of like kind of going all over the place that need to be brought into a sharper focus. The Chariot, the sort of vehicle of the tarot deck, needs to be retuned and recalibrated so that it can move forward effectively. If those two horses are pulling in different directions, then we're not going to be moving anywhere. We're going to be stuck where we are, and this is just going to be a continued painful cycle. So there's a need to sort of do the internal work of retuning what's going on inside of us. And I don't think this is something that's really desired, because up there at the top with the Seven of Pentacles, this is a card of putting in work into something that you don't know if it's going to succeed. And it can be very difficult to keep motivated on something when you don't know that the results are going to be positive. And right now, I think from the point of view you're at, it feels like the results are not going to be positive. This feels like a really difficult situation to overcome, and it feels like you're really struggling to deal with this intense sword energy. But there is this call to move forward. The Death card is calling. There is this transition that is beckoning that needs to occur. And so although this difficulty may be in front of us, there's I think a realization that this has to be accepted in some shape or form. Because we want to avoid this Five of Swords. We don't want that defeat to be a self-defeat because we're resisting this flow that things need to occur in. Now, I find it interesting here that we have a Three of Cups for your general energy. I'm getting the sense that perhaps you're probably surrounded by people who you care about, people who you love, and they love you in return. But perhaps there's something almost unsettling about that kind of experience. Maybe because of this difficult mental space that you're in, you almost feel skeptical and almost a little paranoid about what's going on with those people. Things may feel good in my immediate environment. The people around me may seem to be, enjoying this celebration of, whatever you connect with together. But I think there's almost a fear that is not going to last. That, I'm feeling almost a vibe of abandonment fears here. I'm getting a sense that, there's this community around you and you're afraid that community is going to dissolve. But again, remember the Death card, it is an ending, but it's a transition. It's not it's over, it's done. It's a fueling of something new that's going to follow it. And whatever that is, I think it's something that you should embrace and connect with, because, like I said, holding on to this negative space that we're sort of in right now is not going to make things feel better. And that's why the Tower is here in your environment. We have the King of Swords and the Tower here. There's all this clutter and noise and difficult emotions that I think are probably flowing through you that feel really hard to handle. But I think the key with this Six of Swords showing up is to just let it flow. Feel those really difficult experiences. Feel that really intense energy. Acknowledge it and then let go of it. If you resist it or try to ignore it, it's just going to continue to sort of burn and hurt, and you don't want to be in that space. You want to move forward. If the tower's going to fall, then the tower's going to fall, and you need to let it be what it's going to be. So I think the idea here is you want to really try to connect as best you can with the connections that you know are going to last, and use those as a sort of soothing for letting go of whatever the difficulty is that all this air energy is for you. Embrace the impact of the tower here that's coming. And remember that you're not losing everything. You've still got connections. You still have positive attachments in your life. And you should not let the negativity of whatever this situation is influence the negativity or put negativity into the actual positive connections that you have here. Okay, so this doesn't feel good. I'm just going to tell you, this does not feel like great energy, but I think with some realistic looking at what this is and how this is unfolding, I think it will move into a positive place, but not in a necessarily pleasant way. We have here a challenge of a Two of Cups. And I think this challenge is, I think there really is an issue here of some kind of connection that feels broken. And I really feel a sense of trying to make sense of that broken connection and trying to understand why, and then trying to just sort of sit in that swelling negative energy, rather than sort of like, it feels like you're stuck in a place that doesn't feel good and trying to make sense of it, and rather than moving forward and just letting go of this, whatever this negative situation is, it feels like you're just sitting there and circling around in it. And again, with the King of Swords there, we want to move out of that. We don't want all this clutter noise. We want focus and clarity. And again, I feel like there's a certain amount of just letting things be as they're going to be. Some of it may be painful, but remember that there is still positivity, even if there is a lot of negativity surrounding it. Okay, so the difficulty is whatever that connection was that all of this negative sword energy represents, coming to terms with whatever that was. And this definitely does not feel good. I can tell you, I can physically feel the intensity of this right now. But we have the Magician up there at the top. Now, this could be good or bad. I think depending on how all this energy is sort of dealt with, the Magician can either allow us to move forward with this death process and start manifesting new things that feel more solid and positive for us, or it could be a dipping into illusion and manipulation that you don't really want to do. You don't want all this negative energy to sort of corrupt whatever it is you're trying to bring into your life. Because the key thing about trying to manifest positive things in your life is you have to keep a positive attitude. And if you're letting all of this negative energy really weigh on you, it's going to continue to produce negative results in your life, and you don't want that. So in order to move forward into a more positive direction, I really think we need to take the lessons of whatever this ending is, try to get back in tune with our feelings inside of us that don't feel quite so negative. Reconnect with the things around us that we know really are working for us, and then try to put that energy into producing positive things going forward. Because there's definitely a really negative vibe about what's happening here, and whatever this is for you, it doesn't feel great, and I do hope that you're able to get through this difficult time. Again, remember that you do have connections. It may not be the connection that is causing all of this stress and pain right here, but there are other positive connections around you. Dip into that as you try to manifest whatever is going to be coming in your future. Painful reading for sure. What you don't see coming is the Nine of Pentacles. Like I said, I do feel like once you get over this hump here, whatever this is for you, there is better things ahead. There is being self-sufficient, being able to enjoy the fruit of your labors, and being able to really feel comfortable in your own skin in a way that I do not get from all of this energy over here. This is, you know, really struggling with a situation and not knowing whether or not you should just give up when you know deep down you have to keep moving forward. Keep pushing forward through this. Keep trying to get through it, and it will get better. It will get easier because you've got a Nine of Pentacles and you don't even see it yet. It's just that you've got this tower to get through that does not feel great. And again, I'm sorry for whatever this is for you. This feels very difficult, but if you put the energy into getting past this point, and again, when the negativity swells up, just sort of acknowledge it and let it go away, things will get a little bit better. I wish this was a more positive reading, to be fair, but all right, let's see what the shadow deck has for us. I'm not really wanting to sit too long in this energy. Okay, so let's see what we got here. What is going on in your subconscious, Scorpio? Hopefully we got some more positivity that can come out of this. The Fool, the Sun, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, that's like all great energy. Okay, so there is positivity still lingering here with all of this negative energy. There is something that you can pull from that's going to make things feel a little bit nicer. But it's going to take a little bit of a leap of faith of really, like I said, I really feel like the biggest message here is that as painful as and difficult as things might feel in the present, if you let go of the negativity that is really holding you down, you know, and I actually feel like the King of Swords trying to get focus on all of this negative energy, I actually feel is not the right thing to do. I feel like just kind of letting it be what it's going to be rather than trying to intellectualize what these feelings are. I think that's going to be the more positive outcome. Because with the Fool here, it's saying just sort of let things be. And with the Six of Swords, you know, you'll move forward with the lessons learned from whatever this is, but that's a future thing, right? We don't need to be dwelling on whatever this negativity is now because there's a sun right here in the center of all of it. You know, there's a positive light, and so if we just let ourselves sort of embrace that positive energy and give way to that it's like diving into a big pool of happiness, right? It's like, imagine you're in this room and the whole room is on fire and everything's really bad. Like you're in the tower. Imagine you're in this tower and everything feels really destructive and unpleasant and scary. And then with the Fool and the Sun there, I almost feel like in the center of the tower, there's this big glowing sort of like pool that you can just dive into. And if you just have the faith that it'll be better once you get to the other side of that, then you'll reach this positive Ten of Cups experience. So I think like trying to cling on to this tower while everything is burning around you, you're just going to get burned up by that. When in reality, if you just let go, give into the joy that is actually there, you'll be able to find that Ten of Cups positivity that's hiding there. So I think things will get better. You just have to have faith that this difficult time is just a temporary difficult time. Now, it doesn't mean it's easy, but I do definitely feel like this is a temporary thing. I mean, it's the tower. The tower needs to come down. This is not something that you want structured in your life. You want to move away from that structure and move into something better. So have faith that that better really is ahead, okay? There's a Ten of Cups that's and a Sun that's really hiding in the back of your mind. All this negative energy is shielding you from being able to access all that positivity. So let go of this negative energy and let that sun and water, that positive energy flow forward, and you're going to be in a much happier place. And then you'll be able to get back in touch with that magician energy and start manifesting in your physical world things that make you feel better. Again, I wish this was a more positive reading, but I'm definitely getting some really difficult energy here. And what we see in the shadow deck of what you don't see coming is the World. I mean, like I said, I really think there are better times ahead. You're going to be, this is an ending. This is definitely an ending. It's a wrapping up of some sort of cycle. I think it was a difficult cycle. And I think once you get past this point, you'll look back on this and realize, okay, this cycle needed to end. Things are better now that I'm not stuck in whatever that situation was. And I don't want to speculate about what that might be. So whatever this difficulty is that you're dealing with, just let it flow, move forward. Remember that there is positivity inside and around you. Try to connect with that rather than lingering on the negative energy that's keeping you stuck and blocked. Let this cycle end, and the Ten of Pentacles is waiting for you on the other side of this negative space. Again, I wish this was a more positive reading, but I really want to emphasize that the Nine of Pentacles is waiting on the other side of this negative transition. So have faith that things will get better. Embrace that energy of the Sun and the Ten of Cups, and let the Tower go as the Tower needs to go. So that's all I have for you today, Scorpio. A little bit of a shorter reading, but definitely a difficult one. So yeah, I feel weird saying this after such a reading, but I hope this helped. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, or leave a comment down below if there's any feedback or anything you would like to share. If there's anyone that you think would benefit from this or any of my other videos, please feel free to share it. But again, with whatever this is, I hope that you're able to get through it as best as possible. And I know this feels difficult, but just keep your mind focused on the positive things ahead and let go of the negative things that are holding you back, and things should get better. So that's all I have for you today, Scorpio. I hope you have a great rest of your day.